Hey everybody, welcome to Mom's Dinner. Here at Mom's Dinner, we help adults feel successful at dinner time. So if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. So today for dinner, we are going to make stuffed bell peppers. Stick with me. A lot of times I find that bell peppers, like stuffed bell peppers, fall short a little bit in the flavor department and the heartiness and the texture. Sometimes they're just filled with rice and meat or tomatoes and rice, or they're just missing that hearty factor. We nailed this recipe. It has rice, it has beef, it has beans, it has tomatoes, it has cheese, spices, flavor, you name it, it has it. This bell pepper recipe is so incredibly good. So today, I hope you're gonna stick around because for dinner, we are making incredibly delicious stuffed bell peppers. You're gonna start this recipe in a really large skillet because you're gonna make a ton of filling in there. Add about 2 tablespoons of oil, and then we're gonna add in 1 pound of ground beef. I like to use an 85-15 because it's not quite as greasy as an 80-20, but still has plenty of flavor. Now go ahead and crumble up and brown all of that ground beef, and then you're gonna add in 1 chopped onion and half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Continue to brown and crumble the ground beef and soften the onions. And then at this point, if you have a lot of excess grease in the ground beef, you want to drain that off. This is my method. I like to tip the pan up so that the grease will drain off of the ground beef, and then I just sop it up with a paper towel. I put it in the sink and let it cool before I put it in the garbage can. Now add 3 chopped garlic cloves and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and get that all mixed in. Then we're going to add in 1 packet of taco seasoning, 1 lightly drained can of diced green chilies, and 1 lightly drained can of Rotel tomatoes. Get that all stirred together, and then we're going to add in 1 can of drained pinto beans, 1 teaspoon chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Get that all stirred together. All right, we've got the filling almost completely done. What we want to do now is add a little bit of rice. We need 1 cup of cooked rice. I happen to have some cilantro lime rice left over that I made with dinner the other night. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this up. So if you happen to have some leftover rice, absolutely use that. Normally when I make this, I use a little bit of frozen rice. If you've never used frozen rice, it is an excellent shortcut in the kitchen. They sell it at Trader Joe's. I know they also have it just at the, your normal grocery store, or Walmart or Target. And it usually comes in like a bag or a box with 3 bags. You pop it in the microwave for like 3 minutes and it's ready to go. Couldn't be simpler. But like I said, I've got just about a cup of cilantro lime rice, and since those flavors go perfect in here, I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. The last thing we're gonna add in here is 1 cup of shredded Monterey Jack cheese. And I have hand shredded, which is my least favorite kitchen task, hand shredded a cup of Monterey Jack cheese. If you have pepper jack, if you have cheddar, whatever cheese you have, whatever cheese you want to use will totally work. Now what we want to do is just stir this up until the cheese is starting to melt and get nice and creamy in there. And that is your filling for your peppers. Now you want to prep your peppers. Just cut the very top of the pepper off and then pull the stem and the top and all of the seeds and the pith on the inside. You basically want an empty pepper that looks like a cup. Now take some nonstick spray and spray that in a 9x13 pan, and then fill that pan up with all of your peppers, trying to kind of hold them in place because they can be a little bit slippery. If there's still some space left in the pan, I like to fill that up with a little bit of crumpled up aluminum foil. That just helps everything stay in place. Now take that filling we made earlier and you're going to stuff all of the peppers. It's a lot of filling, so you may need to kind of press that filling down into the peppers to get it all to fit. At this point, you want to cover the peppers with aluminum foil and pop it in a 375 oven for 30 minutes. Then you're going to pull those peppers out and you're going to top all of the peppers with 2 cups of shredded cheese. I have a Monterey Jack cheese here, but if you like a pepper jack or a Colby Jack or something like that, you can definitely use whatever you like or whatever you have. Now you're going to pop these peppers back in the oven for 10 more minutes to get the cheese all melty and yummy and gooey and delicious. These stuffed peppers are cooked through, they're hot in the center, the cheese in the filling is all melted and delicious, and then the cheese on top is all melty and gooey. Woo! So incredibly good. They are hot out of the oven, so I'm not going to taste them right now, but we are going to have these for dinner. What I'll do is I will plate 1 stuffed pepper per person, and then we're going to have side dish. We're going to have 2 different side dishes. We're going to have esquites, which is basically like a street corn salad. It's got queso fresco, corn, chilies, chili powder, lime juice, really good. And then we're going to do a fresh pineapple with a cilantro orange honey glaze over top. It's hard sometimes to think about what side dishes to pair with this because it already has your veggie, it already has your protein, and it already has your starch. So it's kind of a all-in-one meal, but those are a couple side dishes that work really well with this. I also have another recipe for a cilantro lime slaw that works really well with this as well. And I will link all of those recipes for you down in the description box. So I hope you give these stuffed bell peppers a try and think that they hit the mark and they deserve 5 stars. Let me know what you thought of these in the comments if you make these for dinner. So until next time, I hope that these stuffed peppers help you feel like a success at dinner time. We'll see you next week.